Hello, my friends. Welcome. Jill here in my Empowered Fitness community for women over 40, looking to get energized, confident, and strong. It's Wednesday, and that means that today we have our weekly Q&A session addressing all of your questions on weight loss, menopause, nutrition, fitness, and anything else that you want to ask me. Just drop a question below. In the meantime, we are going to go through some of the questions that came up with some of the newest ladies to join our community here. And I'm very excited to look through and kind of learn about what's going on and what questions you have so that we can answer them. And I know that a lot of us have very similar questions because we have a lot of similar stuff going on. And if you missed it, I dropped a podcast in here earlier. Let me just make sure. Yes, I did. My favorite podcast with Mel Robbins and Dr. Mary Claire Haver. And if you ever watch one podcast about menopause, this is the one. I watched it again this morning. I watch it every once in a while just to remind myself of these important things, and it's just such a really important message that they have. And so I encourage you to find that podcast. I'll link it in the email that I send with this recording. And yeah, amazing. So let's just dive right in. For those of you who are new to our group, if you missed it, Monday is always our Monday motivation. Tuesday, we introduce our new members and offer resources. And Wednesdays is our live Q&A day. I'll always update you of amazing things that are going on here in the group and via email. And you can always friend me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and just see what's going on in my own journey and in my life. Today, my younger son turned 12, and so we've got a lot of celebrating to do today. And so, yeah, let's dig right in. So when you join this group, I ask 3 questions, and the first being, what is holding you back from achieving all of your weight loss and fitness goals? What is your 3 to 6 month fitness goal? And if you could ask me a question, what would it be? So we're going to go through and answer some questions. So I'm going to start with Andrea here. And she says that nutrition and motivation are holding her back. Andrea, go back to Monday and find my motivation video. Motivation generally comes down to you connecting with the reason why you want change, and then having some really clear strategies and a plan in place to start achieving your goals. And when we start taking action with consistency and getting to our goals, that is very motivating and it keeps us going. What's even better is having somebody who has our back, like a coach, and a community of others who are trying to achieve the same. So you're in the right place. Andrea wants to lose 30 pounds and look and feel good. And she asks, what diet is best for me? Now that's going to obviously change from person to person. You're gonna see coaches out there and maybe things on social media and hear of different programs and different diets. And you're always gonna wonder like, well, which is the best one? And believe me, if you're like me, I've tried so many of them. And everybody always thinks that their way is the one and only way and the best way. But I don't believe that. I have a hard time committing to anything like completely. I am a ride the middle kind of person. I am a devil's advocate kind of person. I have a really hard time choosing sides because I have so many different beliefs and I try to just see things from different perspectives. And so what happened with me in my nutrition coaching practice is I started teaching 5 different frameworks for nutrition because I have ADHD and I need to rotate through different tools in order to be successful. I'm not very good at sticking to nutrition for very long. So I'm constantly changing my approach. And what I found is that that works. It works for different seasons. It works for when I'm in a certain mood, if I want to be tracking and counting, if I don't want to do that and just want to be a healthy eater. So I teach 5 different frameworks. One being my 5-day kickstart cleanses, which are a quick weight loss tool, a something that's going to give you a big win. I found different places in the client journey that tool works really well. For instance, the very beginning when you need that motivation boost. And then during times when you're either getting ready for a vacation or a special occasion, you want to look your best in a dress or a fancy outfit. And then also when our bodies need a rest. And what happens is we tend to then pair the appropriate recovery fitness with this almost like a recovery reboot for our digestive system too. And so that's my Kickstart Cleanse. The next one we have portion control. We have portion control for a healthy gut for those of you who are struggling with gut health. We have macros for those of you who really want to be honed in and have a really like micromanaging my food kind of tool and are maybe type A and control freaks. We have two other ones. We have a menopausal metabolism reboot framework that is very simple and less about the stress of counting things and being super specific. And then we also have an intuitive eating program, which is more like listening to your body and your cues and getting in touch with your body and letting that lead the way. And so again, I feel like each person's personality is different, and sometimes it's about your stage of life, your season of life, or just the week. And so what we would do is, Andrea, if you're interested in nutrition coaching and that's your big sticking point right now, is we would hop on a call and discuss these different frameworks and kind of go through the frameworks, each one, and say, which one do you identify with? And that would be the one that I would start with for you, teach you, help you through, and then perhaps we learn another one, because I really believe that building a toolbox of different tools and strategies will really help you the most in the long run. I hate to see people who say they are on their diet 100% and then they fall off the wagon and they gain it all back. Instead, I like to rotate through strategies and have multiple tools and then figure out maybe there's one that you do the majority of the time and another one that you can do sometimes and really hone in here and there. So I hope that helps. I would love to have a call with you, Andrea, or if you're interested, if anybody's interested and you want to look at my nutrition coaching only package, you can find that at jillortizfitness.com/nutrition. So I'll drop that link in here so that you can take a look at that if you're interested. Let's see. jillortizfitness.com/nutrition. And this is also, there's a really great graphic on there that shows you all 5 frameworks so that you can kind of take a look at them and see if you identify nutrition coaching package. Cool. Oops. Okay. So let's move on. Shelby simply told me that she's struggling with a routine. Again, having somebody help you, direct you, and say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. And starting to build that together can be really helpful. So something that I am in the habit and routine of doing is planning out my week every week and then encouraging my clients to do the same. So I have this Jill Ortiz Fitness weekly planner, and we, at the top, I plan out my workouts for the week. Sometimes things come up and they change, but at least I know where they're, and if I have to shift things around, I have my general nutrition planned out with some notes of, different things. And then at the bottom, I have what's going on in our lives, because we have very busy family life with 2 children and lots of travel and lots of doctors and this and that and all the stuff. And so this really helps me to build that routine and build that plan each week, and then have much better chance of success with sticking to it and getting results, okay? Judy says stress and emotional eating are holding her back. And she's asking me, is it possible to lose weight and gain muscle after menopause? So let's go over both of these things. Number one, with stress, that is something we do have to address when it comes to menopausal weight loss, because when you're in a constant state of stress, your cortisol levels are really high. So cortisol is what kicks our body, as the hormone that kicks our body into fight or flight mode, okay? So that means that it helps us, okay? You're like, why does cortisol help? I thought it was bad. Cortisol actually helps us. The problem is when you're in a constant state of stress, your cortisol is constantly high, and that is very draining on our adrenals, which is going to affect a lot of the processes in your body. And also, when you're in a state of fight or flight, your body does not care about digestion. And so that can shut down your metabolism and your digestion. And so that is big in terms of your weight loss. And so number one, we need to start looking at what are the factors in that stress, right? And so for me, I see a therapist, I have, my coloring and my music and walks and all the things that I turn to try to help me, breathing, stretching, working out, all the things that I have. It's going to be different for everybody. I know not everybody is like, oh, I'm stressed out, I want to go work out. For me, it's helpful. It's my time by myself where, I take the focus off of what's on my mind and I put the stress on my body. And then with regards to emotional eating, we need to find a new way to cope. So number one, we have to kind of identify the root of our stresses and deal with those things. And then we also need to find something new and healthy that we can turn to when we need help. Sometimes if our nutrition, if we don't have that routine and that healthy eating habit, then we can use the eating. But if we have a really good routine with our nutrition, then it definitely makes us less prone to use eating as that self-soothing tool. So we can work on nutrition. To Judy's question on, is it possible to lose weight and gain muscle after menopause? Yes, absolutely. You can do anything in your life. You can achieve whatever you want to achieve as long as you have the right tools, a good mindset, and consistency for as long as it takes. You can't say, oh, this didn't work in a week, so I'm giving up. You can't say it didn't work in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. I've been working at this for like 10 plus years and I'm still working on it. And my body keeps changing on me as well. And to gain muscle, there's there's two main things that, actually three, I could probably add a million of them, but let's talk about the two main things about gaining muscle. Number one is tearing the muscle. So you're not gonna do that with little 5-pound weights. You need some heavy lifting in your routine. And number two is fueling your muscle gain, because if you don't have enough calories and nutrients, then you can't build muscle. So those are the two things, is eating enough and lifting enough. And so yes, you can gain muscle. I want to teach you how to do that. What is enough calories? What do I need to fill those calories with? And what is that lifting, and how do I progressively get heavier and heavier and do it in a safe way? Okay, so that's something that we can do together. All right, Tina says what's holding her back is she's busy with the farm, her grandkids, and she has a recent sensitive back. So I actually have a bunch of clients who have farms. And I know a couple of them were talking about it this week, between Sarah, whose husband, I think, broke his ankle, so she had a lot more to do on their farm, and Jill, who also is out there every day working on her farm. And guess what? They do amazing with their workouts as well. So they know, and they prioritize making time for themselves. I understand that that is a massive job, and that time can get away, especially when you're also taking care of your grandkids. And sometimes we do need to ask for help, especially it comes down to you not taking care of yourself. So we have to be careful as well with your back if this is something that's being caused by farm work, being on the ground with children, like all that stuff. It just makes it even more important that you work strength training, core training into your everyday and giving yourself that time first. You're no good to nobody if your back takes you out of commission. So we've got to focus on that. So one of the big things for me, I had a big, massive back injury back in 2008. I'll never forget what year, because that was the year I got married. And then 6 months later, I fell 12 feet while my husband and I were house hunting. It's a really interesting story. And I damaged my spine. Basically, my whole spine compressed when this ladder I was on fell. And when I hit the ground, my spine compressed and basically, like, for lack of a better term, popped my L5-S1 disc. So all the fluid from the disc basically seeped out basically at 28, was I 28? 26. At 26, at age 26, I had the back of like an 80-year-old. And so that caused a lot of spine and nerve and bone friction, which causes a lot of pain for me. And so what I found over the years, and this is why I changed careers, is that I needed to really strengthen through my core and honestly my whole body in order to make up for that, that sensitivity, that weakness in my back. And so I created a program called Jill's Killer Abs, and I work my core every day, because it's so important to me that I can do all the things that I want to do and do them without chronic pain. So that might be something that you would benefit from as well, Tina. It's got 20 workouts for not only core, not just the abs, but 360 degrees around and your glutes. I'm going to add the link here. www.jillortizfitness.com. Oops. Jill's Killer Abs. Okay, I think I wrote that correctly. Yeah. 20 workouts. They're 7 to 8 minutes. I hope you can find 7 to 8 minutes in your day. 20 workouts for abs and glutes. All right, that link's going into the comments below. Okay, so I think that could be a real help for you, okay? All right, Tonina says arthritis and body pain and knee pain and a knee replacement pending. September 8th is holding her back, so we wish you the best with your surgery. And I know I was just chatting with her in Messenger, so hopefully we can get you going in the right direction and help you with that overall health. I think a big thing for me is, keeping down inflammation, right? And then building strength, right? So strength, stability, mobility in these areas. Being careful with somebody who has arthritis not to push it too far, but still working on it. So I always say that, like, when people come to me and they say, oh, I have bad knees, so I can't do leg day. I'm like, you need leg day more than anybody. We need to work on this. It may have to be modified, but we need to build back your strength, your stability, your mobility, and get you back to where you want to be. Knee replacements are fantastic. They're very quick recovery, and you feel like new. So I hope that goes really well for you, Tonina. Okay, Amanda, what's holding her back is she doesn't know what to do, and she's asking, how does she stop bloating? So this is something that comes up during perimenopause, especially, is bloating, not having the digestive system that can process the same foods you always used to eat, and feeling immediate bloat with things like carbs and, for some people, wheat, alcohol, anything with a sugar substitute, and perhaps it's other things, nightshades. It could be so many different things. And so number one, you do have to start figuring out for yourself, like, oh, I just ate Brussels sprouts and I feel awful. Don't eat them, right? Avoid them. Avoid foods that bother you, but also understanding what foods are inflammatory, will be more disruptive than others, and helping your digestive system relax. So for Amanda, I might say start with my 5-day Kickstart cleanse. It will calm down your digestive system. And then maybe let's look at my nutrition system for gut health. That could be really helpful. Learning which foods to avoid and which ones to add into your diet to really help with that bloating and gut health. So yeah, that's pretty much all I would say. I say that for me, alcohol is a big one. It's one that I really had to cut back on and choose when I'm okay with feeling that instant bloat, you know? Okay, Nancy says she struggles with consistency and she's not sure what she needs to do. She said there's so many recommendations on social media on how to deal with menopause and menopause belly and weight training. It is very confusing. Yes, I believe that you need to pick a lane and stick to it, not try to do all the things at once. Listen and find somebody who you do trust. And what I do is I like to make little baby steps available so that you can start with things that are small to see if I'm the person who you jive with, who you'd feel comfortable with. And that's why, number one, I do these Q&As so you can hear me and hear what I'm all about. And then a really great way to start for Nancy and anybody else who wants a small step is my 5-day Menopause Makeover. It's a recent addition to my list of programs that I offer. We did it live several weeks ago, and then I made it what we call an evergreen program, so people can come in at any time, but I only have 10 spots at any given time. And that way I can focus on all the people at once, give you the opportunity to talk to me about what's going on with you, and go through the program and see that through. It's 5 days. It's only $5, and you will go through all these different aspects of menopause and what's really imperative to know. And it's just small chunks. It's only like 10 to 15 minute videos for the 5 days, little lessons, and then I also include 5 workouts, including arms, stretch, abs, stretch, and glutes. And so that way you can see if you enjoy my style of strength training and exercises. And there is an option to add on my 5-day Kickstart cleanse for only $17. So that's a really great way to start to work on consistency for 5 days, and then we can make a next steps plan from there if that's of interest. So Nancy, I would say yes, get into that 5-day Menopause Makeover for $5, okay? And anybody else who's interested, I included the link for that here as well in the post. Okay, Connie, I had a call with just the other day. She's dealing with gut inflammation and she's really struggling. And again, some of these things that I've suggested, the 5-day Kickstart cleanse, paying attention to what foods are bothering you, and then working through a system or program that is for gut health, like my portion control for gut health, would be a really great place for us to start. She says, I never knew menopause was going to be this ugly. I do hope I can defeat this cortisol. Are there others in the same boat? You all tell Connie if you're with her. I think most of us here are totally understanding where Connie's at, and we can all do this together for sure. Okay. All right. So Connie, take those next steps and click on those links I sent you and sign up for the various things, okay, that I know are going to help you. Sarah says, nothing's holding her back. She says, I feel like I'm doing everything right, but I'm not seeing the results. So perhaps there's something in there that we don't know is holding Sarah back. This is where I suggest to Sarah, join me for a call, book a game plan call with me. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of go through what's going on. And big things that I like to ask on these calls is, can you tell me what you eat in a day, right? And can you tell me about your workout regimen? Can you tell me how you sleep? And can you tell me about your stress levels? And we can go through some different things. And generally, after I'm taking, a nice big page of notes, I can figure out the red flags there. And sometimes we just need to shake things up and try something new. and change what we've been doing. And I said this to somebody this morning. Sometimes what got us from point A to point B, so I think it was Nikki, she was saying that she had lost 40 pounds, but she's kind of stuck now. What got us from A to B is not going to be what gets us from B to C. We need to now take it to the next level and try something new and shake things up. And our body generally responds to change. Otherwise, it shifts and it kind of like finds a way to stay the same, okay? So Sarah's question is, what is the best type of exercise for someone in menopause? There's two best types of exercise. Number one, heavy lifting. And progressive heavy lifting, meaning you're lifting more and more, or more time under tension, or more reps. And then the other one is going to be walking, because walking relieves stress. It gets you outside, it gets you breathing, it gets you vitamin D, and it's just so good for you to get that movement without it being like heavy duty cardio exercise, okay? So walking and weightlifting, the two W's is what we need. So we need a good plan for this, and then we need to shake something up as well in your routine, most likely, Sarah. So book a game plan call with me, okay? They're free. And we get to know each other, and then I can offer you some solutions, and whether you take me up or not, it's totally up to you, okay? Karen says nutrition is holding her back. She wants to eat better and she wants to lose 30 pounds. Let's do it, Karen. Let's do it. All you gotta do is take action today, and we can start taking off the first 5 pounds this week and get you some really good systems. So book that game plan call with me, Karen, okay? Lynn says motivation is holding her back. She wants to lose weight. And she says, how does she kickstart her metabolism? So I want you to think about a furnace, right? And I want you to think about a cold furnace, nothing in there, no coal, no wood. I don't know what's in a furnace, but a furnace or a fire or whatever. I want you to think about what's in there. Let's say the switch is off. There's nothing burning, right? There's no fuel. How do you get that going? You flip the switch, you throw some coal or some wood or whatever burns it, some oil, I don't know, and you kick up that flame and you get it going, right? So if you are under eating, you're not eating when you wake up, you're waiting, number one, that's gonna keep that fire burning really low. So we gotta get you to eat more, most likely. And then the next thing is we need to build more muscle in your body, because when I'm at rest, I am a calorie burning machine. If you don't have a lot of muscle in your body, then you are not burning calories while you sit and watch TV or work. We want the calories to be burning while you are at rest. And the way to burn more calories at rest is to build more muscle. So number one, eat more. Number two, lift more. That's going to help you. And then we need to just take a look at some of the other things that are going on a little more closely for you. And I swear, when you start getting in the groove of that new plan that has you in alignment, you're gonna feel the motivation. Sometimes we have to start acting before we feel motivated to act, but that action generates motivation, okay? And then we have Ellie, who says focus is holding her back. She says she wants to get healthier and lose weight, and she's wondering, how can I be better with consistency? So consistency generally takes a mechanism of accountability. And so you might need a coach, you might need a program, you might need a daily reminder, you might need something that is a daily prompt to do the things that keep you focused, right? And for me, a big thing with focus is, again, it's being in control of my days. One big thing is time blocking. So this is one of my planners. It's not the one I'm using at the moment. This is a planner, you know, time blocking your day, saying, okay, this hour I'm doing this, and then I'm doing this. And really like being scheduled. For somebody who struggles with focus and ADHD, I need to be consistent with blocking my time. That really helps me. I need to be consistent with planning my week, because when I do these two things, and that's all about planning, when you're planned and prepared, you are in much better shape for being consistent in having the actions that get you closer to your goals. And it just makes it so much easier. So, all right, that's it for today. If you have more questions, you leave them for me and I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I will see you back here next Wednesday. And I hope to see you on a call or in my 5-day menopause makeover or any one of my tools and programs, Jill's Killer Abs, so that you can start getting amazing results and feel so good, feel supported, and feel knowledgeable and empowered. Okay? Have a great day.